Alright, so today we're going to do an update of the ADA60P Aquascape. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Natquascape. If you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on content to do with unboxings and reviews of planted aquariums and aquascaping, and also see me scape different tanks using different styles, different hardscape material, and setting up low, medium and high-tech setups. Also expect to see me go through the journey of creating aquascapes, seeing what problems I come across and see what I do to remedy those problems so that you can get your tank off to a flying start. Okay guys, so let's get a close-up of the ADA60P behind me, turn on the lights for you and we'll see what's happening. So the scape is looking really good and the plants are absolutely thriving. So this scape didn't get off to the best start. The reason why is because even though in the first week I was doing daily water changes, the ammonia levels and the nitrite levels were pretty high. Now I have seen many research papers to suggest that actually high amounts of ammonia can have a detrimental effect to plants. And I'm going to look at that in more detail and maybe get in touch with some of my colleagues who are plant biologist experts and have a discussion with them about what they think. Anyway, you know, if you want to see a video of where this scape went wrong, then check out this link up here. However, the tank is revived and fully cycled and it's looking really good. I'm getting really good growth and I'm not getting any melting of the plants now. So the tank is starting to settle down, mature and become settled and well balanced. Okay, so initially around here we can see the laser pen. I had some Hygrophila pinnata feeder and it all melted. And that was in the kind of like first 2 weeks of the aquascape. Again, doing daily water changes in the first week, water changes every other day in the second week, third week, 3 water changes, thereafter in the fourth week and thereafter, water change every week. So basically now I've swapped out all the Hygrophila pinnata feeder with some Anubias nana petite, and that was after, you know, about 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. I thought I'd try something different, something a bit more hardy. So there's the Hygrophila pinnata feeder now. So I bought some new pots of that plant and it's doing really well. In fact, it's growing really well. And it just goes to show that for me, you know, my idea now to do the hardscape, flood the tank and let the tank cycle fully before I add plants is the way to go. For me personally, I'm going to find that this method is the best method for me. And I kind of struggle to understand how people get good results when they scape a tank, add the plants, flood it, and then not observe any significant amount of plant melting. Recently, I looked on the Green Aqua channel and Tommy gave a really good video of setting up a tank, and I think it's like an 8 to 9 week progression video of that tank. And he also said that, you know, normally he would observe some melting of the plant in the initial life cycle of the aquascape. And that kind of provided me with a bit of comfort actually, because then I kind of figured that, yeah, that makes complete sense. I mean, with crypts, you always get melting in the first kind of weeks of the life cycle of the aquascape. But now that the tank is doing really well and maturing, plants are thriving, absolutely thriving. No algae issues, no issues with plant melt, just really good growth. So initially in the first, you know, 2 weeks of the plant's life cycle, even the Helenanthium tenellum green, which is quite an easy to grow plant, was suffering from some plant melt. And you know, I did take most of that out and potted some new Helenanthium tenellum green after about 4 or 5 weeks of the plant's life cycle. And I have to say that I am getting amazing results. And at that point, I had zero ammonia, zero nitrates, zero nitrites. And it just goes to show that if you have excess ammonia, nitrite, in the first stages of the life cycle of the tank, your plants can suffer. The other plant that I got really bad plant melt of is the Bucephalandra. And this was the Bucephalandra Kadang. Is a few mixes of different species actually. And yeah, all kind of melted, which was really rubbish. Plants aren't cheap, so I don't want them to melt. However, I've put in some new specimens. Okay, some new plants, and guess what? They're doing really well. No plant loss, no plant melting, no real big issues with algae, just superb plant growth. One of my favorite plants now has become Marsilea hirsuta. So if I just use my laser pen, it's this small leaf kind of plant just in that area there, and you can see these tetras actually, they go for the laser pointer. They see the laser pointer and they go towards it. You have to be really careful with laser pointers, you don't want to get the laser pointer beaming in their eyes. So when I use the laser pointer, it's really close to the tank, so there's not a beam going through. So just be careful with that. But yeah, you can just see, I use my finger around here. Okay, you can see the Marsilea hirsuta creeping around now. And in fact, I really need to try and trim it back as well. But it's a really nice carpeting plant. I've used Marsilea hirsuta without CO2. Yeah, it grows very slowly. But with CO2 and standard nutrients, it really takes off. And it's a beautiful plant that you can use in an aquascape for growing a carpet. The other plant that is doing really well now is this moss. This is Physidens moss. I think I've said that correctly. Really nice, it's just, I love the way this moss grows. I love the way it looks. It is my favorite moss, I have to say. So I'm really loving this area of the aquascape. I love that it's shaded in that area, and I love how we get this shimmering effect in that area. So I did get quite a lot of melting of the Cryptocorini. So this is the Cryptocorini Wallisii. Okay, but it seemed to have revived. All I did was I kept on taking off the dead leaves. I trimmed any dead leaves and stems right down to the root, and most of it got hacked back. But I didn't mind too much. I just thought, this is how it is. Let's just trim it and let's just see what happens, because again, I'm kind of learning here too. In fact, just at the bottom here, you can see some fresh leaves coming through of the Cryptocorini Wallisii. So yeah, that's getting really good growth. The Bobitus that you see here, so it's this fern here, just there. Yeah, I didn't replace that. I left it, and you know what? So this Bobitus here, just in the center, I don't think it's ever really recuperated from the exposure to excess ammonia or nitrite. It's been really struggling to grow well and actually take off. But I left it there just to see if it would. Okay, but it hasn't. And we can see, in some cases, let me just go down here, just here, this leaf here, it's not looking really good. However, the Trident fern that I put in, so I replaced the Java fern with Trident fern, that is taking off now. And in fact, it does need a prune and a trim. There are the Cryptocorini parva leaves. And I have read that, you shouldn't really let the plants shade Cryptocorini parva. So what I need to do, it's looking really good actually, really good plant growth around here. It's not doing too badly, in fact. So I might just try and trim off some of this Helenanthium green, just cut it back a bit, so that the Cryptocorini parva can flourish as much as it can. And finally, the plant I want to just end with is the Cyprus Helferi, which is just honestly now really taken off well. I did have a little bit of black beard algae on some of the plants, a very small amount, and all I did was just add another kind of 6 Amana shrimp, and they went to town on it, and it's all just cleared up within 2 nights. I mean, there's still a little bit on here, so there's a little bit of algae there. Let's get this into focus. So there we go. You may not be able to see that on camera, but yeah, there's a little bit of algae on that leaf. You know, anything I see like that, I just kind of trim it off and it's fine. So that is a almost 3-month update of this Aquascape. Everything's looking good. Really happy with the growth and the way it is looking. Now that it's coming up 3 months, I might need to change my fertilizer routine. So at the moment, I am using the Nature Aquarium Green Brighty Neutral K and the Green Brighty Mineral. So the ADA Green Brighty Neutral K is not carbonate based source of potassium, so it won't, you know, fluctuate the degree of carbonate hardness. If I was to do this Aquascape again, what would I do? I think one thing that I would really like to change is actually bank that area up higher. You know, I did the scape and I am happy with it, but you know, we can always improve on it, improve on this art form, and just enjoy it as well at the same time. Well, I have this riverbed aquascape down here. I've added fish, I've added otters, I've added shrimp, and I'll do an update of this tank in due course. In a nutshell, yeah, really growing well. In fact, maybe growing too well. What else do I have? I have this ADA Cube Garden 45P to scape. I've got the Superfish 45 litre Aquascape to scape, and I'm also getting a pallet of goodies from a company as well, which will give me a lot more material to do some reviews on, and also to scape some more aquariums. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that content. So I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of a cinematic of this Aquascape. Enjoy.